Good morning, everyone. Welcome on into North Dakota today. My Place Among Them is a book that delves into historical events and their impact on the present. This morning, we have author Gwen McPhail joining us with the book's message. Good morning, Gwen.
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're doing so well. I'm so glad you could join us this morning to talk all about the book. Tell us about it and what inspired you to write it.
Well, the book My Place Among Them is actually based on a document that was written by my great-grandfather, who was actually a teacher on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation at the time of Wounded Knee. And he also taught or served as an administrator at several other reservations across America. He wrote the story of a young man that he encountered, but he was afraid to publish it because he saw things that he didn't believe was fair treatment of the Native Americans. And so he passed it on to my father. My father was unable to complete it before passing away due to cancer. So I wanted to finish it and publish it so that the story was told.
Wow, generations in the making. That's really incredible. So what's the big message or maybe some of the lessons that you're hoping really pull through in the novel?
Well, I think the most important thing, and it applies truly today, is that we need to make sure that we know who is teaching our children and what they are teaching them. I think the Native Americans of America are a good example of how you can completely erase a culture. Not completely, I take that back. Almost erase a culture by taking children away from that culture at an early age and training them in a different culture. And then they go on accepting the new culture, and it's an effort to bring the old culture back. The other lesson is that resilience and never giving up does ultimately pay off. So
an inspiring story of hope as well, huh?
yes, very definitely.
I like that. Okay, so walk us through your research and maybe your approach to some of the historical aspects of the book.
Well, of course, I had a document already to begin with. It was the story of a young man named John Ironhorse, who was about 12 when the Wounded Knee Massacre occurred. He survived that massacre and was adopted by a Sioux family there on the Pine Ridge Reservation near Potato Creek. As soon as he recovered from his wounds, he was sent to school, as was the law at that time. Any child at least 14, some as many as 6, were required to attend either a government-run or a church-run school. So he got into that system, which is where he met my great-grandfather. Wow. My great-grandfather was a teacher there, and he, of course, one of the things that he believed in was teaching skills, which today are also very important. I did a lot of research. I reached out to people who worked with the members of the Sioux Nation, people who were in contact with families, because one of the most important things to me was to not do anything that would hurt or insult any of the members of the Sioux Nation. So each time I ran across a question in my great-grandfather's manuscript or in my father's edits, I reached out to make sure that what was in this old document was accurate compared to what was currently available on the internet or things that I had seen in the movies.
Okay, wow. So you are a teacher yourself, correct?
Yes, I retired after 31 years.
Well, congratulations. But wow, so there's a lot of personal ties to, your family's writing, you yourself. How did that impact how you're telling the story?
Well, having 31 years of teaching and seeing all the changes in education over the years helped me to understand how this young man was impacted by a single teacher. Most of us can remember a single teacher in our lifetime that had a significant impact on us. And so it was easy to understand how my great-grandfather might have reached this young man when another teacher might not have. It also made it imperative for me to make parents aware of never giving up control of how their children are educated, what they are taught, how they are taught. Because I know that many times I had an opportunity to share my opinion with my students, and it was always something that I had to think twice about if they asked a question, I had to make sure that I was factual and presented them with true information, not opinion.
Well, this has been an incredible journey for you and a great reminder as to how important our teachers are as educators. Thank you so much for joining us. But before we let you go, how do we get our hands on a copy of My Place Among Them?
The book is available, and here's the cover. It was recently named the Book of the Week by the Books for Humanity Global company. It's available on Amazon. It's also available at your local bookseller. They can order it. It's available almost any way you order a book, but Amazon is the quickest way to get it delivered with Prime.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you all for having me. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Yes, thank you. You as well. All right, everybody, stick around at home. Plenty more coming up here on North Dakota Today.